Hey everyone, I'm Steph. Today I'm going to be rewaxing my boots and doing a quick review after about half a year of wear. So I've already washed these and let them dry out, so let's just get into the rewaxing. These are the Jim Green Rugged African Trooper in Houston Brown, and I bought them for about $290. Like I said, about half year wear. I picked these up mid-December, and the break-in took about a month for the initial wearing. But as I've worn them, they've just gotten more and more comfortable. With nicer leather boots, they just kind of conform to your feet. So, and these are my first pair of like more premium boots, and I can say I love them. So I'll get into the waxing now. I bought Jim Green's leather balm as well. I keep it pretty simple when rewaxing stuff. I just have my wax, or in this case balm, a toothbrush, a stiff bristle brush, and a hair dryer for after I apply the wax, just to let the wax melt in. And then I also just use my good old fashioned hands. So I'll just start waxing my boots here. So I usually like starting around the stitch down area with my boots, just to make sure they get a lot of wax in there so it's more water resistant. So warm up the wax a little bit in the tin, and then just get applying. So, I bought these boots so that I could have a quality piece of footwear, that'll last me years and years. Because, before these boots, I really only wore sneakers and modern hiking boots that kind of just fall apart after a year. And so far these boots have really kept up with what I'm doing. I don't really abuse my boots, I would say. I don't do construction work or any hard manual labor except for out in the garden. So it's not like I'm putting these boots through hell and back, but I really enjoyed these boots so far, and I think that the soles are still in pretty good condition. So I think I'll get definitely another half year out of them. Probably another year and a half, honestly, with the way I wear my boots, before I'll have to resole them. So I think that's definitely been a treat for me so far, especially since the leather is all nice and broken in. I only do garden work, just general daily errands, and bit of hiking. And recently I actually took these to Poland for about a month, and with the waxing, they've held up really nicely to the rain and the cobblestones. So super happy with these boots. And yeah, I think I'm gonna be a lifetime Jim Green fanboy now. I have these boots. I have a pair, name's slipping my mind, but I have two pairs of Jim Green boots. The other one's a lot harder. I think the Razorback. Yeah, that's the name. I have a pair of these and the Razorbacks, and they've both been pretty nice. The Razorbacks are definitely harder on the feet. the rubber compound's a bit harder, so it's just a bit tiring when you're just on concrete all day, but I'm sure they'd be a lot better in the wilderness. While these, I feel like you could just kind of wear these every day. And you can see here from this top-down profile, it's got a pretty rounded toe box, so it makes them pretty comfortable for me since I don't have the widest foot, but a pretty wide foot. So after I get the welt with wax, I also like going into these corners and the stitching with the toothbrush. And I use the toothbrush because it holds fast pretty well and it can reach into those corners. Those little nooks and crannies and stuff that are most prone to getting water and ingress into them. So it's always a good idea to just get in there with a toothbrush or something. Yeah, I'd say if this was like your first coat of wax, I would recommend heating up the tin a little bit with the hairdryer, just so that the wax is more liquid and free flowing, so that new unwaxed leather can really soak it up. So that's 1/2. Get the back here, a little close up, but basically what I'm doing is just getting into those threads and into this rough out as well a little bit, going over the high wear, like where it folds up and wrinkles a little bit, giving that a little bit extra scrubbing with the wax in there. And again, just into these little nooks and crannies here where the leather stacks on each other. Once I get into pretty much most of the paneling conjunction areas, that's when I start using my hands, because you create a little bit of heat through friction when you rub wax on with your hands. So, it's gonna be a little messy, but just wash your hands afterwards, I guess. And if you get a nice natural leather balm, this stuff's actually pretty good for your hands anyways. So just kind of get in there and start massaging the leather with that wax or that balm, or I think you can also use mink oil as well. It's just not as high shine. Just basically just get in there with the wax and try to cover everything. you can see all these little wrinkles in here from the break-in process. These boots have become pretty pliable now after half a month's of wear. And, you know, aesthetically, they're not they're not like the prettiest or most stylish boots, but you know, I think the utilitarian build quality and the you know, just full leather construction, I think that really makes up for the style tenfold. Because, you know, I'm not gonna be breaking heads or breaking necks while wearing these on the street, but you know, I can have that quiet confidence of knowing that I have a boot that I can rely on. No matter what conditions I'm in, I just love them, you know. Really, like with a lot of my other belongings, I've been trying to only buy things that I love, and I think leather boots are gonna be, they're gonna hurt my bank account for a while, because I've already ordered another pair of Jim Green's, the mock toe boots that pretty much just released. So, and those are also around $300. So I think I'm gonna be the dude who only wears leather boots from now on, and only wears sneakers for like the gym or something like that. Alright, for the tongue, this is a tri-fold tongue, so you just want to open it up a little bit and then massage that wax in there. Again, with that friction, it really gets the wax to start melting. Makes it spread a little bit easier. That's pretty much all the wax I need to get on there, because all the wax I need to get on there, because these boots have already been waxed before, so I don't have to go as heavy with the coat. If it's your first time waxing your boots, I'd probably go a little bit heavier than you might think, and any excess wax will just kind of you know, wear off as you wear the boot. You just might get some residue and stuff, but you know, it's not really a big deal, especially if you're gonna be wearing these boots for a while. Yeah, and then pretty much all I do after this is rough out on the toe and the heel. So I just brush the nap into one direction so that it's a bit more uniform and tidy. It's kind of like combing your hair. But yeah, it works a little bit better when it's hot. And that's it. Now, after this, I'll just hit it with a blow dryer for a few seconds just to have that wax melt in a little bit more, rehydrate all the leather a little bit, get it a little bit deeper in there. But you know, it's doesn't have to be complicated. Just a few minutes and you got a wax boot that's ready for some more inclement weather. If you're doing this to your own boots, you know, realize that it's going to darken them quite a bit. You can see here it turned from like a dark brown into almost a black color. So um, as you wear them, they'll lighten up a little bit again, but just know that aesthetically it's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to ruin them because leather balm or beeswax, it's actually good for the leather, but just know that aesthetically it'll be different. But yeah, also I have a new camera and mic setup and all that kind of stuff, so sorry about that. Camera overheated, but I have a new camera setup, so hopefully things look a bit nicer, higher frame rate, and things sound a little bit better too. Let me know if you want me to change any of my audio settings, anything like that. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make a little bit nicer content. Definitely have to get into the flow of speaking while doing something else, because that was a bit of a challenge today. But you know, I think when it comes to boots and like just everything that you use practically every day, I think it's nice to invest in good stuff, and that goes for my boots and my camera and stuff like that. So you know, if you like using your everyday items, if you love using them, then you know, every day will just be a little bit nicer. All right guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.